There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.
Good morning, everyone! Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Meal Live with Cordillera Career Development College. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Accenture, and VXI. So before we start, may we invite Ms. Ronnie Villa Valdez, the Student Development Officer, for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the National Anthem.
Let us pray. Our gracious and ever-loving Father, we glorify and thank you for the blessings of the day and that we are able to attend this webinar. We pray for your guidance that this activity will all fall according to your will. To the speakers, Father, grant them wisdom as they share their invaluable knowledge to the Admiral's family. To the participants, lend an open ear so that this activity will not be in vain, but a seedling that grows to our life, so that as our soon graduates face the workplace in this new normal, this will bloom and will serve as their weapon to combat the challenges. Lord, we neglect the power of darkness that will steal, kill, and destroy your will in our life, but we claim your declaration in Jeremiah 29:11 that you have a plan for us, a plan to prosper and not to harm us, a plan to give us hope and a future. Lord, this we all pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang mag-ibig, pero sa sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang binirang, kuya ka ng mag-ibig, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ang pagaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad ko'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng buwan, habit pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you so much. Hello, Cordillera Career Development College, and to all our viewers. Welcome everyone, and ready na ba kayo? I hope you all are. And by the way, my name is Maria, and I will be your host for today. So we are live again via Jobs 180 Facebook and Jobs 180 YouTube. So we hope that everyone is excited to learn new things today. Alrighty, so to officially start our session, may we invite Sir Jaylo Lacadin, the Coordinator for Student Services, to give us the opening remarks. Good morning, Sir Jaylo. Sir Jaylo, can you hear me po? Sir, nag-freeze po yung screen nyo. Okay, so while waiting for Sir Jaylo for the opening remarks, we will be playing a couple of video, and we'll be right back.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the US R&D program where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations, and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine registered nurses to become US registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time, feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.
Thank you so much. All right, so once again, may we invite Sir Jay Lacadin, the coordinator for student services, to give us the opening remarks. Good morning, Sir J-Lo.
Good morning, ma'am. Hello, everyone. A fruitful day to all. I am pleased to welcome every participant for this event, the initiator and our partner of this activity, jobs180.com. Our speakers will be imparting knowledge and skills on us and to all the students and interns that join this event. Indeed, we should be thankful for opportunities like this because it provides us an avenue to learn. In this activity, we'll be learning how to create a resume using the innovation provided by our partner, jobs180.com. Following will be on how is the status of hiring in this new normal. And lastly, how to improve our communication skills. So buckle up and let the learning begin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sir J-Lo, for the opening remarks. And as usual for our audience today, please comment your name, year, and course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Q&A will happen after each speaker's presentation. So don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa sila, please tawagan nyo na kasi sayang naman tong event natin. Alright, and the learnings as well na matututunan nila. Also, the eval and attendance will be released at the end of this session, same with the digital certificates. So if you guys are ready, here is our schedule for today. Number 1, job applications using resume link from jobs180.com, hiring in the new normal from Accenture, and improving communication skills from VXN. Alrighty. So shout out to everyone na nandito na. Again, for those students who were just joined in, please comment your name, year, and course. And as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. At wag din kayong mahihiya, okay? This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. So to our audience, sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag together. Okay. I know you guys are excited, so kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. For the topic job applications using Resume Link, he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resources speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir, the floor is yours. Take it away, and I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A.
I'm going to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with the checklist. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming iba-iba sinesend sa companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume, kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. So, alam nyo na yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo, gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos, o kaya Santos J, o kaya JS, o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, Patricia at email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo. Kayo lang may alam yan. At lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Hindi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating po sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo, din 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Now, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So, yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamalan ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam, o, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki, yung pala babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin, wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang, huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So again, Sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secure na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. That was a helpful presentation to our dear graduating students. And guys, you can start creating and designing your resume link na after this event. So if you have questions, alright, regarding the topic and with Sir Kim himself and with the company, you can post it on the comment section. So Sir Kim, I have a questions for you. Alright. Sir, since they are graduating students and they don't have work experience yet, what can you recommend to improve their resume link?
So on that aspect, if you need to think of what to write or what to put in your work work experience, yung mga totoo naging work experience nyo, yun lang muna. No? Kung meron kayong summer job, part-time job, nagkaroon kayo ng opportunity na rumakit or mag-sideline, ilagay nyo, okay lang, no? Walang problema. Basta totoo naging experience nyo. Now, if ever lang wala talaga tayong experience na kahit na ano, then I don't recommend na mag-fabricate ka. Do not invent on anything. Kasi pag nag-invento ka, tapos nahuli ka later on, baka mas mapasama pa yung application mo. Okay? So that's as simple as, yun lang yung tip ko dyan. Yung meron, lagay. Kung wala, wag mag-invento.
Okay po. Sir, okay lang po yung volunteer experience, like yung experience in journalism, ganun po.
Okay. Yes, you may do that. I recommend that you also put there yung mga experiences ninyo when you work in the community or however, hindi talaga, depende kung anong work eh. Kasi kung yung work talaga nagtrabaho kayo doon, talaga may ginawa kayo, you were assigned the task, okay lang. Diba? Pero kung masarap to, no, that you do that. Diba? Kasi pag ganun, tatanungin ka ng HR eh. They will interview you and they will try to find out about that experience. And then once they ask you, then you just have to tell them the truth. Kung ano talaga yung ginawa mo. Diba? Whether nag-assist ka lang, namigay ka lang ng flyer, example, gano'n, diba? So you have to put there yung talagang naging task mo, yung naging responsibility mo or naging task na na-assign sa'yo. Okay?
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. And yes, but second question, what advantages can we get of using Resume Link compared to other online platforms?
Definitely marami advantages. No? One is if you miss out that portion, you can watch the replay. And then forward it towards the end. I was talking about the advantages of Resume Link. So one of the advantages that I find is that you can control your privacy settings at any time, real time. So I'll focus on the security aspect. Yan yung unang-una, yung security. Yung pangalawang nakita ko rin dito na advantage niyo is that it saves you a lot of money. Diba? Kasi pag nag-a-apply ka sa mga kumpanya, masyadong magastos eh. Sa panahon ngayon, mas mahal pa ang sibuyas kaysa sa manok. Diba? So I'd rather that you save your money and use it somewhere else. Diba? Use it in a gamitin mo sa ibang paraan, hindi yung sa pagpiprint lang ng mga resume. Although hindi naman kami galit sa papel, di ba? Now another thing din is that wala siyang limitation eh. So if even if you're applying to other countries or companies who does not know about jobs180.com, you can always use your resume link. Di ba? Pwede mo ibigay. Tapos kontrolado mo lahat ng information na gusto mo ipakita o itago sa public. Now to add to that, when you log into your job seeker dashboard, may makikita ka doon na mga application status ng mga in-applyan mo. So doon pa lang, you don't need to follow up sa mga kumpanya para malaman kung ikaw ba in-process na or hindi ka pa na-process because you will see it there na naka-reflect sa status nyo. Lastly, ito pa isa pa. just in case lang, just in case for some reason gusto mo talaga mag-withdraw ng application mo kasi nagbago isip mo, ayaw mo na magpatuloy dun sa company na ina-applyan mo, you can always go to your dashboard pag nag-login ka, tapos pwede kang mag-withdraw ng application with just one click of a button. Pero hindi ko naman nire-recommend na gawin nyo yun, baka mamaya gawin nyo, click, apply, tapos gagawin mo after 5 minutes, withdraw. Huwag mo naman gawin ganun, di ba? So, take it seriously. Research about the company, research about the position that you're applying for, make sure that you know what you're entering, and then you apply, you submit your resume link. Para yung mga HR, they will also take you seriously then. Okay?
Thank
So,
you
yeah,
so much, Sir
nakatulong siya.
Kim. Yes po, and we do have a question from the audience from Joanne Micaela Orpilia. Can we put the internship or immersion program we attended in our experience?
Of course, definitely yes. No, yes. OJT is something that most of the fresh graduate will be putting in kasi wala naman talaga naging work experience pa. So OJT or internship or work immersion is considered as a work experience. So you can put it there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. So sa mga nahihiyang magtanong, please wag na kayong mahiya. You can email your question to info@jobs180.com and Sir Kim will reply unto that. Okay? Thank you so much, Sir Kim, for joining us today and we'll see you soon in our future events. Have a great day po.
Maraming salamat.
Ingat po,
Maraming
Sir.
salamat at ingat po kayo. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Sir Kim. Thank you so much. All right, so let me go ahead now and introduce our second speaker with the topic hiring in the new normal. He is a graduate of BS Psychology and is a licensed psychometrician with more than a year of experience in recruitment field. The recruiting associate from Accenture, Sir Raymart Kyle Dabbay. Hi, Sir Kyle.
Hello,
Good
Maria. Good
morning.
morning. Good
Yes,
morning.
sir, you can share your screen po.
Yeah, sure. Let me
Thank you
just
so
do it.
much. Mhm.
Give me a moment here. Share screen. Okay. All right. I think it's showing now.
Still loading. Okay, yan na po. Your screen is up. I'll be right back after 20 minutes po for Q&A. Good luck, Sir Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Okay. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. So first, I'd like to thank Jobs 180 for inviting us in this event. For our spotlight event, I will be discussing with you hiring in the new normal. So, a lot of you may be familiar with the terminology new normal ever since the pandemic happened, because the new normal hasn't been going around until pandemic. Companies needed to adjust, needed to comply, needed to, accommodate. Um, Applicants, candidates in terms of their recruitment process. So we have to make adjustment and changes within our company. So we will be discussing first, how do companies recruit talent? Okay, so before COVID happened, before we had an idea what is this about, companies recruit talent in various ways. So for example, companies give out flyers. Okay, so if you don't have any experience applying in companies, as of this moment, let's say you just graduated, I'd like to share my personal experience first. So I remember before, back when I was in Metro Manila, living in Metro Manila. This was way back, I think, January or February of 2020. So there's still no lockdown or restrictions yet. Okay. So I myself started to apply in different companies within Metro Manila. So I am going in different locations such as Pasay and Makati. And I remember companies giving out flyers to me. Sometimes it's not even flyers. Sometimes it's already the application form itself so that they would be able to secure your application within their company. So yeah, that is one way for them to recruit talent or candidates before. So it's headhunting basically. And then another one is door to door. So my knowledge about door to door usually is it is when companies, for example, also schools, when schools are partnering with different companies, they will be reaching out to their students, um, in their houses, door to door, literally, and asking them if they wanted to apply in certain position that they have open. So flyers, door to door, goes hand in hand because these are recruiting process that is physical, that is face to face, wherein you really have to interact physically with the recruiter, whether it is a school or a company. Okay. So, of course, if you have submitted your application, let's say you've considered applying for the company, you will have to undergo different recruitment process physically. So, for example, you would have to undergo face-to-face interviews. So, I personally experienced this before. I have to go in the office of the company that I'm interested in, and do the interview right in that spot. Sometimes they usually ask you to have the interview, let's say, in the morning, and then you have to go in their office, in their respective office, to do the interview. And then usually after face-to-face interviews, if they were able to process that you are a good candidate for the position, sometimes within the day they would already ask you to take the assessment or the examination. So some positions, like for example, customer service representative, let's say, in technology, let's say data analyst, usually those kind of positions requires you to take an assessment because it requires expertise. So in terms of assessment, you will have to again take the assessment test within the site or within the office, and then you have to take the assessment in their computer, in their desktop. So what I'm trying to say is, from flyers to door recruitment process to the face-to-face interviews and assessment tests, all of this you'll have to do this physically. You'll have to physically interact with the employer regarding your recruitment process. However, and the right side, as you would see, the next normal or the new normal way of recruiting process. Okay, this is made because of the adjustments that we have to have ever since the pandemic happened. So, for example, companies have started making use or utilizing of social media or the internet. You know, you might be browsing through your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed, and you will be seeing, for example, Accenture is hiring customer service representative. Apply for this specific job and get a 50,000 signing bonus, something like that. So they're utilizing social media to advertise, and to attract um, um, how do I say this? Applicants or candidates to apply in the specific positions they are pertaining to. So this is also one of the most convenient way to advertise job positions, because I mean, I believe everyone that is watching right now has a phone, has a social media account, whether it is Facebook or Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. You know, you're bound to see these companies advertising for the positions they have open. Okay. And the next is an AI generated job board. So this usually refers to job seeking platforms such as Jobs 180 and the likes. Okay. So AI generated job boards usually is used by candidates who are actively looking for job positions online, and they wanted to filter out the qualifications within their range. Like for example, if you go to Jobs 180, you can filter out, for example, if you don't have any experience, you just have to tick the box that says no experience, college graduate, female or male, if that is applicable. So AI generated job boards such as Jobs 180 helps you to find a job that is tailor fit for you. This uses algorithms to offer you job positions within your qualification. Okay. And then next is, of course, the opposite of face-to-face interviews and assessment tests. We have virtual interviews and online examinations. So virtual interviews, some of you may be a fresh graduate, some of you may have had already an experience, but virtual interviews, of course, refers to interview process that is done virtually. wherein you'll have to take the interview via Zoom, via MS Teams, Google Meet, depending on the platform of the employer. Okay. And then another one is online examinations. You'll have to take the assessment or the examination online. Okay. Whether it is via link or via an application from the App Store or Google Play, something like that. So as you can see, the next normal or the new normal recruitment process mostly stem into the online or the virtual process of it. This is really to ensure the safety and to accommodate, of course, the restrictions that we used to have. Okay, I'm not sure if we still have restrictions nowadays, but what I do know is that, of course, when you apply, let's say, on site. Okay, when you apply on site, I think they still have restrictions. They still have to follow health protocols, such as wearing face mask, using alcohol from time to time, because of course you are using devices from their companies. Um, you know and in order for you to avoid those kind of process, if you don't want to wear your face mask, might as well just take the assessment or the recruitment process virtually. Okay, so moving forward, okay, so we will be discussing the pros and cons of this kind of process, the virtual recruitment process of companies. So first, let's discuss the challenges that we anticipated in this new format. Of course, in every changes that is happening, there are always challenges because this is something relatively new to us. So, for example, less personal interactions between applicant and recruiter. So, like what I told you, I have an experience with recruitment. Okay, but all of my experience in the recruitment only happened in virtual or virtually. I never get the chance to recruit candidates physically. Okay, so I'm very confident with my skills when it comes to virtual process, but when it comes to face, I'm not. But what I do know so far is that, of course, there's still less personal interactions if you have to conduct the interview virtually. Like, for example, you wouldn't be able to see most of their nonverbal cues. Like, for example, if they are nervous, which is one factor that can affect the whole interview process, by the way. So, for example, they are nervous, they get cold feet. You wouldn't be able to see if they're tapping their feet or if they're flickering their hand or their fingers. So those kind of factors you wouldn't be able to see, because what you're only seeing, of course, is definitely their torso, their face, their shoulders, a little bit of their chest area. That is what the sorry, that is the only thing that you would be able to see if the process is done virtually. So there's limitation to it. Okay, next is high fallout rate due to technical difficulties. So this one is inevitable. Okay, so we know for a fact that Philippines doesn't have the fastest internet around the world. Probably one of the slowest. So technical difficulties such as internet connection issues, let's say device problems. For example, your device suddenly turned off, you weren't able to charge it, or suddenly the application or the link is not working. This happens if the process is done virtually. And again, it's not inevitable, but it's still one of the challenges that we are anticipating or we are expecting in this kind of process. Okay, next is a higher percentage of unresponsiveness and rescheduled application. Okay, so this is also common based on my experience, before in while recruiting candidates. There's really a high percentage of unresponsiveness because some candidates are not available on a specific date. Given that it's done virtually, they can also do other things or other stuff physically, that might interfere in their recruitment process. So let's say, for example, a candidate might have overlooked, right, the schedule, because let's say she was watching Wednesday on Netflix. Oh, I forgot I have a schedule. So that happens. And then they will reach you out and tell you, I need to reschedule my interview. Apologies on that because I'm not available within the day. So that happens. And sometimes we receive bulk candidates, rescheduling for a specific interview schedule. Okay, so most of the challenges, as you can see, in terms of the virtual process, refers to the internet connection with the device, but sometimes also on the candidates. So if you will be applying virtually, you really have to, you know, be keen and be alert on your interview schedule, in your assessment process, examination process. You really have to, um, remind yourself of when will this happen. You really have to have a tight schedule because some employers wouldn't proceed with the application if the candidate wouldn't be able to attend the interview or the examination. Okay. But there are other employers who are considerate. So it really depends on which company you're going to apply. Okay. So next we will be discussing is what is working in this kind of recruitment process setup. Okay. So first is faster and more streamlined application process due to virtual interviews and online assessment. Of course, faster in the sense that the application process is one click away. Okay. You have to click, for example, Jobs 180 website, click apply, submit your resume, receive the email notification regarding the application process. You'll have to do it virtually. You only have to click in your phone, in your desktop, in your laptop, computers, whatever, and then you'll be able to process the whole application already. More streamlined as well because we are receiving a lot of candidates, especially if the process is virtual. Like again, what I've said, this is more convenient because it saves you time from going on site, traveling in their office, and submitting your application. Okay. So next is online interviews and assessments ensure general safety and security for candidates and recruiting teams. Okay, I think the term safety and security is very general, as you may see, because this might refer, for example, with the restrictions, COVID health protocols, you know. But in general, actually, online interviews and assessments are safer because you wouldn't have to, report or travel in their office. There's really less worry on your end in contracting the virus, as well as with the employer. Not to scare you guys, but um, you know COVID-19 is still here. And we still should consider being safe. Let's still try to wear our face mask as instructed because we still have COVID. Some of my colleagues, my friends, they still contract the virus up until to this point. So, I would highly recommend for you to do the process virtually to really ensure the safety, not only of your safety but also the recruiter's safety. Okay. And the next is cost efficient for both the employer and job seeker. Of course, this is, I think, one of the pros of virtual process. It saves you time. No, not only with the cost, but it also saves you time. For example, you will be applying in, let's say, Makati, and you are living in Caloocan. So if I would estimate, the travel time, let's say you will be leaving your house by 6 a.m., I think you'd be able to get in Makati around 7 a.m. That's just my guess. Okay. But if you will be leaving around, let's say 7:30 or 8 a.m., you will probably have like 2 hours travel time. What I'm trying to say is that it saves your time and your money because you wouldn't have to go out and travel just for the application process. You just have to open your laptop, connect to Wi-Fi or the internet, right? Click the email for the interview link or the click the link for the assessment and do it, in your convenience, whether you are whether you are in bed, whether you are in your desktop, And then after that, close your laptop, and that's it. It's way more convenient to do the process virtually because it saves you time and money. Also, you'd like to consider, of course, after you interview, if you have to do it physically, right? If you have to report on site, you would have to, you know, also spend some money. Like, for example, you'll have to eat after your interview because you wanted to, of course, you reward yourself for a job well done. You wanted to eat out in, let's say, Jollibee, McDonald's, or Starbucks, whatever. That also is one factor because if you would do the process virtually, you would have to avoid all of those expenses. Okay, moving forward. So, just to give you background of the skills that are needed for the future. So, this is conducted by the World Economic Forum Future of Job Survey in 2018, and this is what they've mentioned: the top 10 skills most employers are looking for in 2022. Okay, so I'll be discussing the first five. Okay, so analytic thinking and innovation, of course. Candidates should be innovative because the world is ever changing. You have to offer something new every day. Active learning and learning strategies. Of course, your career path is, also a learning path. You learn something new every day. Hence, you have to improve your learning skills. Creativity, originality, and initiative. Of course, creativity is broad, but you always need to make sure that you have a creative side of you. There's creative side of you just have to explore it once you started applying within companies. Okay, you have not only uh, you don't need to only be creative, but you also have to be original. you know you need to be unique, you need to be different. You have to be the uh how do I say it? You need to be the one who start changes, good changes, by the way. Okay. So technology design and programming, I think this is specific for our tech students. But of course, you have to be knowledgeable with design and programming because we are evolving. Most companies have adapted into the virtual process, and this is the future. So we should at least know something about design and programming in terms of technology. And of course, critical thinking and analysis, which is one vital um, part of an employee. You really have to have the brain, the knowledge, and apply it, okay, within your job. Okay, other skills: complex problem solving, leadership and social influence, emotional intelligence, of course, reasoning, problem solving, and ideation, systems analysis, and evaluation. So the reason why I highlighted the first five is because these are some skills that Accenture is looking for in their job seeking candidates. Okay, so if you have this specific traits or this specific skills, just hone it, and then you would be able to have a successful career path within you. Okay, all right. So I think that concludes my discussion. Okay, so if you are interested in applying with Accenture, since this is a Jobs 180 initiated event, we highly recommend for you to go ahead and visit www.jobs180.com/Accenture. Jobs 180 has been our partner ever since, and they are one of our sources in recruiting candidates. So we highly recommend you to apply within Jobs 180. But if you're looking for other opportunities, like for example, campus programs, on-the-job trainings, go ahead and go ahead and visit www.accenture.com/page students, and of course, check our social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram, to know the latest in our company. So I think that concludes my discussion. Thank you, Jobs 180, again for inviting me in this event.
Thank you so much, Sir Kyle, for your discussion about the hiring in the new normal. So, guys, if you have questions with the topic with Sir Kyle himself and with the company, you may comment na sa ating comment section. Okay? Alright, so Sir Kyle, I do have a question here prepared for you. Number one, how fast is the application process and how does it start?
Okay. How fast is the application process? This depends on the company. First, I'd like to set the expectation. The application process will depend on the company. Like, for example, within Accenture, usually we have a time frame of 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, but that includes already from the submitting your application to the job offer discussion. So usually application process starts, of course, with submitting your application. So you just have to make sure, like what Sir Kim just discussed recently, just really have to polish your resume, because this is the very first thing that we will know about you. We don't have much input about you. We don't know where you came from, what you finished. So really, you have to polish. You need to really, you need to really have a polished resume and submit it here, of course, for example, in Accenture.
Thank you so much, Sir Kyle. That is exactly correct. And for our next question, how about for those students who are interested in applying with Accenture, what are the expectations they can get with your company once they get hired?
All right, good question. Okay, so I just wanted again to also set the expectation that if you will be considered within Accenture, we
Mhm.
offer variety of work setup. So, for example, I myself is working remotely as of this moment. Okay, but that depends on your project, what kind of project you will be getting. So, for example, your project will require you to work on site. For example, due to confidentiality, technicality of the how do you say this, the job position, or if you have to use certain devices that only requires you to report on site, then you have to. But again, Accenture is one of the biggest IT servicing and BPO company here in the Philippines, so we can definitely offer you from, for example, competitive salary package, HMO and benefits, and of course a healthy and working environment, because Accenture is one of the companies that is recognized to have an inclusive and diverse workplace.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much, Sir Kyle. Yes, last question po. How can you stand out among the participants during interview?
All right, good question. So, how would you be able to stand out from the rest of your
Mm-mm.
from the rest of applicants? Okay, so I just want to, I guess, at least share my point of view, especially if I am recruiting candidates in a day, and then we are looking for one specific candidate for a certain position. Okay, so number one, I think, of course, you have to make sure that you are presentable. Okay, a lot of people will tell you you have to wear formal or you have to wear this kind of outfit, but it's not necessarily formal. But you just have to make sure that you are at least presentable to the eye of the interviewer. You have to make sure that you're eye catching. Okay, not wearing too colorful outfit, but rather something that the interviewer would think, oh, okay, he this particular applicant is well dressed. I think, you know, the interviewer would probably associate other traits with you if they would see that you are presentable. And then, of course, you have to make sure that you acknowledge the interviewer, whatever they are saying, because most employer, when they're interviewing their candidates, we really appreciate when candidates acknowledge what we are saying. Like, for example, okay, thank you for saying that, Sir Kyle, I really appreciate that. That would help you stand out, because once you recognize the things that the employer is saying, usually they'd have a positive impact. They would think, I probably consider Kyle instead because I remember him understanding all the things that I've said. Okay. And then lastly, of course, you have to make sure that you're always smiling, because it brightens the employer's days. They would be able to identify that you're really interested in applying for this particular position, and you are excited and eager to apply within, for example, Accenture. So those traits, those I guess tips would really help you. Aside, of course, from the knowledge and skills that you already have, but you have to make sure that you would really impress the employer or the interviewer.
Okay po. Thank you so much, Sir Kyle. Medyo nahihiya pa yung ating mga audience na magtanong. But if you do have a questions with Sir Kyle and the topic, you may send us sa aming Facebook page. It's facebook.com/jobs180. Okay po. And once again, Sir Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today. We are looking forward to have you in our set of webinars. Ingat po,
All
Sir Kyle.
right.
Have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Maria. You
much.
too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye po. All right, so we are now done with our last guest speaker, improving communication skills. Sir Pong, Arita started his career in the BPO industry 12 years ago as a technical support or customer service representative with a US based telecommunications company. He was asked to join the training team and support new hire employees undergo product specific training. He was also backend network IT support for 2 years, supporting business accounts all over Australia, a certified level 2 Microsoft Office 365 support, certified Tier 1 Cisco VoIP support specialist, and a moto vlogger slash video content creator. The talent acquisition specialist from VXY, Sir John Paul Pong Galang.
Hello, good
Hi,
morning.
sir. Good morning. Since you're alright, you may share your screen for once again.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so since your screen is up, I'll be right back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Ingat, Sir Pong.
Thank you,
Good luck po.
Maria. All right, good morning, guys, and welcome to again another session with us with VXI. And so I'm going to discuss with you right now how to improve your communication skills. And with improving communication skills, this is really subjective. So it really depends on your character, your personality. But overall, these are just pointers to help everybody out, right? So let's start it off with importance of effective communication. So what do we need to know about making good conversation and providing excellent communication, right? It's important that we have effective communication because it leaves all parties involved satisfied and feeling accomplished. By delivering messages clearly, there is no room for misunderstanding or alterations of messages, which decreases the potential for conflict. Meaning to say, if both parties are well understood, if there is an effective communication, less arguments, right? You could leave the conversation both agreeing to the same topic or to the same point, or maybe disagreeing into a professional or in a very civil manner, right? So aside from that, let's go ahead and how we could improve the communication itself. There are five things that we need to remember: confidence, listening intently, respond with positive phrases, tell stories or examples, and practice. So, with these five components, confidence is the first key, right? Confidence is the backbone to every conversation, and it is always being confident, right? So, it definitely shows character if you are true to the person that you are talking to. Confidence always gives that impression. If you are confident, then you will be able to gain their trust, gain their attention, and make them listen. And body posture reflects the level of confidence that you also have. So, I mean to say, if you slouch, if you're not looking at the person directly when you're communicating with them, then that will give an impression that you're unsure of yourself, you're not confident, and you're not possibly telling the truth, something like that, right? So, next is listen intently, right? There's always a big impact when you're looking at the person straight in the eye and really listening to what they're saying. It gives the sense that they are feeling, gives the sense of what they're feeling, right? And it gives them the understanding that you are trying to relate to them, trying to understand what they're saying and what they are currently feeling about the topic itself. right? And you'd also get a sense of what they are really trying to express. If they're frustrated about something, you would know it. You would know their feelings and their intentions through intuition, right? Reading through the signals, verbal or nonverbal cues. Verbal or nonverbal cues, meaning to say this would be with regard to the words that they would use. If somehow there is some sarcasm to it, you will definitely know once you listen to it carefully, right? And nonverbal cues, as I've mentioned, you would notice a person fidgeting, right, or not looking at you directly because they're fixated on something else, right, or they don't like what you're saying. So listen intently so that you can adjust how you are communicating with them. Next is respond with positive phrases. Responding with positive phrases, you should start off with these uh, example phrases. That's interesting because, etc. I can relate because that's true because those three starting phrases will give off an idea that you are interested and engaged on what the other person is trying to say, right? This is to a point wherein you agree with what you're talking about, right? But there's a difference when you disagree and you have a different take about the topic or about the discussion. Then what you could say is, I get your point. That's a good point. But however, this is mine, right? You're being respectful. You've given a positive response first before before having your own opinion about something, right? So it's always what we call a sandwich method. Positive first and then negative, right? You can't automatically start off as negative, right? Because when you talk to somebody and then they say something about that you don't agree, you automatically say no because this is what I know, this is what I believe in. Then that will be a start of a huge conflict, not respecting each individual's opinion, right? So it would show that you can relate also and validate that the other person what the other person is trying to say. So with these certain statements, guys, not only you is listening and paying attention, also they would be paying attention to you because you've given them the credit, right? The benefit of the doubt that they may also have a point, but there is just some things that you will not that you will not agree upon. So it's important that you start off always with a positive note, right? So next is tell stories or examples. This is to supplement the positive phrases or the negative phrases, right? The sandwich method. So telling a story or an example supports your positive responses and it makes the conversation more engaging and doubles down on the perception that you are really interested in, right? So if you put an example, a story, it would be better if it would be a personal experience or something that you know about, right? Currently, because it would make sense that the story itself is something realistic, right, and is within the same borderline situation, the same situation as what they might experience with that certain conversation, right? So, given an example doubles down and explains further on that positive note that you're trying to express earlier, or that negative if response that you provided earlier, and give a teaser of how the conversation might end. That's like a movie, right? A movie sets up a lesson, a situation, the actions taken, and the results of what happened within that scenario. That's basically what a movie is, right? So you always go through with that scenario with the story, setting up the situation, and then what happened, and then what was the end result. So that is how you are able to tell a story and relate it to the conversation or with the communication that you have with that other person, with that other party. Last is practice, practice, practice. Engaging yourself to communicate with people would be a great experience to improve on your communication skills, and you would be able to identify what works and what doesn't and do better, right? Nothing beats experience with learning new things, right? It's always experience. Nothing will work in theory if it's not being applied. So you should always try and engage with a engage to a conversation with anybody. It's definitely fine. If it doesn't work, if there was a conflict, then learn from it. What are the key notes that didn't work out, right? If anyone here has a relationship, you will go through this every time. It's a definite practice, right? If you have an argument, what works, what doesn't work, what words were you using that did not give a positive impact on the conversation, right? So practice, practice, practice. So guys, that is it for me. And please do visit www.jobs180.com/VXI to know more about our company and the current positions that is open in our line. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Sir Pong, for your topic. And to our audience, if you have questions with Sir Pong and the topic, please put it on the comment section now, okay? All right, Sir Pong, I have questions for you also. First
Yes.
one is, one second. Can culture, gender, or social class have an effect on communication?
Um, with our current culture, yes, it does. It does definitely have an impact with the conversation itself, and especially with our backgrounds as Filipinos. Right in our industry, we'll be talking to American customers. With communication, there's a big gap with how we interpret ideas. Right, as Filipinos, when communicating, we tend to beat around the bush. Right, ang dami natin paligoy-ligoy. But with Americans, they want it straightforward. However negative the outcome is, they want it straightforward because for them, time is money. And if you delay what you need to say, that would be frustrating for them. But for us Filipinos, it's the opposite, right? So there's a big gap there. It's just a matter of understanding each culture first when engaging that conversation and to be better with communicating with them.
Thank you so much, Sir Pong. Another question po, how do you put yourself up when you suddenly lost of words or suddenly experience the very familiar word mental block when you are talking in front of the interviewer po?
All right. It would be, I would be candid, right? There are certain instances that
Mhm.
it would be at the tip of your tongue, but you can't really say it, right?
Yes.
So I would just be honest, and it makes you look like more human, and it is understandable that sometimes you lose the words that you should be saying. So you just have to. I'm sorry, I just forgot the word, but it's something. It's you can set an example. This is what I said earlier. Give an example so that you can explain it further. If you lose the words, maybe once you set that example, you can recall the words that you wanted to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Ayun, sir, we do have questions from the audience from Ivy Dapiosan. Sir, how would we know that we are having an effective communication?
All right. So if we do have an effective communication, number one, it's the mood, right? If there's a conflicting ideas that you don't really agree on, you could if there is respect, if there's confidence, if the ideas are presented correctly, you can agree to disagree. It doesn't necessarily need to be an argument, right? Because at the end of the day, if you respect each other's ideas, it will just end up as, yeah, I do understand what your point is. I do get it, but do have my own opinion about this, right? Or if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, then I can't do anything about it, but I've given you my point of view, and that's okay. Both of you can walk out of that conversation peaceful, right? That's how you are able to gauge that you have an effective communication. You could also have a meeting ground, a middle. What do you see? Just lost for words. We could be able to find a middle ground for our conversation where we could meet halfway for us to fix or settle that argument if there was any. If there is no argument, if we both would agree and be able to come up with a positive decision in an idea or in a topic, then that's definitely fine. But for an argument, it's always looking at the middle ground and working things with each other. So this is not just about talking to friends and family. It could be also with the relationship. Some of you might be asking about this, right? And yeah, that's it so far for effective that for us to know that we have an effective communication. It's knowing and understanding that not every battle is won with arguments, right? It's peaceful way of resolving a problem, right? Knowing your limitations and not pushing your ideas to a person that has no really, they can't really accept your opinion. It's respect. That's the number one thing.
Thank you so much, Sir Pong. Sorry. All right, next question from Aprilin Dayan Padengdones. Sir, you say that confidence is the key in communication. How about to those people who really not skillful in communicating verbally or confidently? Are there any tips would you suggest for them to improve their communication skills or to boost their confidence?
Okay, so I think if this is for people who are not really used to speaking in public and speaking in front of people, but if you talk to friends, you can definitely be confident with that, right? You have your comfort zone, but if you step out of your comfort zone, that I think is the question. That is all about the when you're talking to somebody in random or in a public speaking manner. So the only tip that I could provide you is again practice, practice, practice. And there are a lot of helpful videos and helpful tips that you could go through in YouTube, right? This is not really it's really somewhat of a, what do you call this? A learning activity. It's like a course that you'd have to go through. And these tips also help me in improving my skills with my confidence and with speaking in public as well. I usually go for Charisma Academy, that's in YouTube. They do have courses and they would have helpful tips for you to improve your confidence as well. Regardless if it would be public speaking, in relationships, with your friends, random strangers, etc.
Thank you, Sir Pong. So practice is the key to improve your confidence or to boost your confidence. Okay, thank you so much. And last, Sir Pong, do HR recruiters or interviewers prefer people with good com skills over the strong people's skills?
What do we mean by the strong people skills?
Um, I mean the potential of good communication skills over their potential skills.
Okay, so we're looking at the subjective over the objective, is what we're trying to say. So, because confidence is always subjective, but what they skills, what they could offer to the company is also the objective part, right? Because there's a certain skill set that a companies would be looking for, right? So I can't really say that we could choose either or. It should be both, right? Like what sorry, what was her name? Sir Kyle said earlier, right? It's always a good thing to present yourself in a way that you are smart, right? That is also inclusive of the confidence. And along with that confidence, you should back it up with your skills. So you can't really choose one or the other. It should be both, right? Because if you compare it to a relationship, this is what I could compare it to. You can't just go for looks without substance, right? It should be both. It should be a balance between the two. So yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so much. Sir, may pahabol sa ating audience.
Okay.
From Jeremy Laraya Kabututan. Sir, how can we manage fear when speaking in public?
Okay. Speaking in public, if there, yeah, I've also experienced this. I had this when I was starting off. I had this fear of speaking in public, and I would just shut off and lose the words that I would need to say. Right. So what's important here when you're starting off is that you bring key point. You bring cue cards if necessary, right? Because that will definitely help. And always put that in your cue card that don't freeze, just continue on. You will just finish this in a few minutes, right? Not unless you're the host itself, it's a different thing. But if you're just a speaker, just like me, I know that this is just for the 20 minutes itself, and with it's mindset, it's proper mindset, right? And you always there's a tip that I had from my friend that once you're speaking in public and you're afraid of the volume of people that are watching and listening to you, blank them out. Don't think about them, think about what you need to say and just continue on and finish it. That's it.
Thank you so much, Sir Pong. So, guys, if meron pa po kayong tanong, you may send sa aming Facebook page, facebook.com/jobs180. Okay? Thank you so much, Sir Pong, once again for sharing your expertise and for your time. All right, we are
Thank you
looking
so much.
forward to have you again in our next webinar. Okay, thank you
All
so
right, thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Sir Pong. All right, so to our audience, thank you for staying. Hope you learned and enjoyed the session. If may tanong pa po kayo, you may send us a message sa aming Facebook. It's facebook.com/jobs180. And for more career opportunities with Accenture, you may visit www.jobs180 /Accenture. And also for VXI, www.jobs180.com/VXI. And also for Jobs 180, you may visit www.jobs180.com/jobs180. Okay. All right. So, to officially close our program, may we invite Ms. Michelle Palong Diaz, the Student Development Officer and Guidance Staff, for the closing remarks.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po. So, firstly, I would like to start by thanking all of you, the speakers, for their excellent thoughts-provoking talks, the session chairman for organizing and animating their sessions, and keeping things both under control and reasonably on time. However, most importantly, I would like to thank you all, the participants. Without your inputs, ideas, and discussion, this webinar would not have been the success it has. When we started, I tried to outline what I felt we were trying to do here. So here are the things that I was able to sort out. Encourage communication between services through online, exchange ideas and opinions on subjects of common interest, discover what is in the new normal, find out what others means to market ourselves to be hired, and creates contact between people and the community. I am very happy that with the 3 topics, we have exceeded even my most optimistic expectations in all respects during the session. I hope that the things discussed that have been made here will continue in the future as I am convinced that they are very useful, not only to you graduating students, but also to us, all of us who are present in this webinar. We have already heard very complete summaries from the session chairman, and I will not even try to repeat them here. Instead, I would like to share with you my personal view of in connection with this webinar. Today, we are moving from an era of normal, like what we used to do noon, like how to make a resume, how can we pass in the interview, to an era of new normal, which is today, wherein challenges arises such as how to do online application, what link to click, and how to present ourselves in a convincing manner through online, both in the products ourselves we deliver and in the services we provide, which is our skills. I was stuck several times in doing online activities also. Uh, Whether in teaching, online counseling, Zoom meetings, and webinars. With this in mind, I think that we have to understand that our era is changing and we need to cope with it by learning and continue learning, especially to you students. And I feel along with many others that this webinar is very useful and should be continue. So to the Job Street, jobs180.com, thank you very much on behalf of the CCDC. And thank you everyone and have a good day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss Michelle. Thank you so much po. There you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. Please do not forget to evaluate this event. The link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. Okay? All right, so thank you so much once again. And we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. We hope that the webinar helps you to be prepared in the world of work. And we would like to thank Cordillera Career Development College for collaborating with Jobs 180. We would like also to thank the following sponsors for being our corporate sponsors for this event. And you may check out their page for career opportunities. Just visit www.jobs180.com. And also you may see Jobs 180 by visiting your school portals. It's schools.jobs180.com/CCDC. All right. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for, and please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed, and you are welcome to join in on those sessions too. The program has finally concluded, and this is your host Maria Zaleo Mandam, and we will see you soon. And have a great morning. Ingat everyone. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI Philippines. Do you want to know how to jumpstart an awesome career? Join VXI and be part of the International ICT Award 2019's Best Employer of the Year finalist, Best Company of the Year, Best Contact Center, Most Innovative Company of the Year for 2 years, Hall of Fame for Best Contact Center and BPO Company of the Year for 2017, 2018, and 2019. We are hiring account representatives for customer service, sales, and technical support. Find us in a site near you. Quezon City, Makati City, Mall of Asia, Pasay, Clark, Pampanga, and Davao City. Enjoy a competitive compensation package and industry best incentives. Apply via Facebook Messenger at VXIPH. Email us at careersph@vxi.com. Text your full name, location, and preferred interview schedule to 0917-777-5555 for Luzon and 0965-932-9745 or 0961-757-8361 for Davao. We can't wait to have you on the team soon. Apply now!
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.